The MacBook is an incredible device on its own, but there is so much more that it can do that you may not even be able to think about. In this video, I'll be showing you how to increase productivity, whether you work on spreadsheets, edit videos, or maybe even just a student in school. The first one is pretty underrated. If you were to right-click on your desktop, you will see this button that says Import from iPhone or iPad. From here, you'll be able to take pictures with your phone, scan documents, and even add sketches. The Add Sketch option may be very useful. For example, if you were to go onto your iPad, you'll be able to make whatever you want with your iPad. And you'll be able to draw it, and when you're done, just hit this Done button up here. You'll see immediately that our little sketch right here comes to the desktop. If you were to open it, you'll see it's exactly what we wrote. This could be very useful for taking notes. Some other stuff you could do is you could scan documents and take photos. Take photos sounds obvious. If you were to take photos, you'll be able to take a photo of whatever you like, of your face, of something, and you'll be able to put it on your desktop and anywhere else that you would want it. The last one, Scan Documents, allows you to scan a document as a PDF file. And the more pictures that you take, the more pages that you have inside of the document. The desktop is not the only place you can do this. You can actually do it inside of any Finder window that you want, inside of Pages, Keynote, Numbers, Notes, even inside of Mail, Freeform, Messages, and even some third-party apps may support it as well. The next one will help with productivity quite a bit. So if you were to press F3 on your keyboard, you'll see this thing right here. If you click on this plus button, you'll see that you can have multiple desktops. For example, your first desktop can be a research window, your second one can be the notes that you take from your research, and the last one could be a presentation or a video editor or something like that. They could just be anything, they don't need to be this exact combination. And to go through them easily, you can press Control left and Control right to go between them. Or you can go back into the F3 menu and go through them up here. And if you have a trackpad, you can use 3 fingers to swipe between them. By default, Safari may look something like this, but you can customize things even further. If you click on this button right here, you can add more things right here, including things shared with you, pages you frequently visit, and tabs on other devices. For example, if I wanted to see stuff on my phone or iPad, you could see stuff right here. You can also set a background of your choosing. There are some that you can choose from right here, but you can add your own picture with this button. If I wanted it to be this, it could be this. But you could still customize Safari even more by going up to View and then Customize Toolbar. You could see that up here, you have a bunch of options to choose from. You could add website settings right here, autofill right, print button, and you can get rid of certain elements, for example, privacy report. When you're done, simply press done. But if you ever want to revert back, you can go back into View, Customize Toolbar, and drag the default toolbar in right here. There's a bunch of customization, and you can add whatever you need. You could also change the way Safari's tab bar looks by going up here into the menu bar, clicking on Settings, clicking on Tabs, and you can see this compact tab bar option. It may look a little different at first, but you can customize this as well, and it looks a lot cleaner and more minimalist. And speaking of Safari, there are actually a couple of keyboard shortcuts that you can use. For example, pressing Command L will let you go into the toolbar right away, type in any web address. Command T lets you open up any tab that you want. Command W can close the tab that you're currently on, and if you have multiple tabs, you could just switch between them just by pressing Command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's very easy to do. And another feature that you can use inside Safari is tab groups. For example, I have all of these tab groups right here, and I can open something up, for example, LOTF project, and then I can close it at any time, open it back up, and I can go straight back to LOTF project, and all my tabs are still there even when I close Safari all the way. Also, these tabs will sync across your devices, so if you were to do something on your phone, you can immediately get back to what you were doing on your Mac. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with your Finder. One of the first things that I recommend doing is going into View and clicking Customize Toolbar. Just like in Safari, you'll be able to customize the toolbar the way you want it. For example, you can remove stuff that you don't want and add certain elements that you may do want. For example, the path. Another thing that can help you be a little more productive is going up here into View, showing your tab bar. This way you'll be able to create more tabs really easily the way you want it. And something else I would recommend changing is going into Finder, Settings, and then new Finder windows will show whatever folder you want it. You can make it your Macintosh HD, your computer, or your recents folder, you can make it whatever you want. It can also show certain elements on your desktop. For example, the hard disk will show all of your hard disks on your desktop, connected servers if you want it, and you can even customize your sidebar. For example, if you want the pictures folder there, you can have your pictures folder, and you have basically more stuff to work with right here. You can also customize the way your folders look, and then you can make icons as big or tiny as you want, and you can also show a color as the background as well. If you wanted this background for this folder to be purple, it will be purple. And you can also set a picture if your heart desires as well. And for any file folder in macOS, you can press Get Info, and you can drag and drop an image file right here, and the folder will be this image right here. And if you're unsure where you are in your Mac, you can press and hold the Option key, and you can see this little menu right here that pops up. If you want this menu to stay here, all you gotta do is go into View, and then show path bar. That way you can see where you are at all times on your Mac. And you can even click through where you are on your Mac as well. You can also make things snap in a grid at all times by right-clicking, going into sort by, and then pressing snap to grid. And then the next time you press this clean up button, everything will stay in a grid at all times, and it even animates it, putting it into the certain area as well. So much that you can do with your Finder to make it more productive and easier for you. The most underrated feature of the Finder is Quick Look. For example, if you click something right here, you could just press the space bar and you could see the image just like that. It doesn't only work for images, it can work for folders, and it works for documents as well. For example, you can take a look at your notes without needing to open up the program. This doesn't only work with Pages, it works with Microsoft Word documents as well. And all you gotta do is select a file, and then click on space, and then you got your file in this little window right here. And yes, it even works with quick looking previous videos that you've exported or something. The number one best productivity tip on macOS has to be Spotlight Search. By pressing Command Space, you have this little search window that comes up. You can use this powerful search window to do basic tasks and even some complicated tasks. For example, you can do 9 plus 10 and you would get 19. You can even do more advanced math without needing to open up the calculator, which I completely despise, by the way. For example, you can do 68 plus 42 times 54, including exponents. There is just so much you can do with Spotlight Search. Not only that, you can convert stuff from Fahrenheit to Celsius, for example, 212 Fahrenheit, and it will recognize 212 and will do 100 C. And clicking into it, you can even convert it to Kelvin if your chemistry teacher decides that you want to use Kelvin for some reason. It even works with other metrics, for example, inches. You can do 58 inches, and then it gives you meters, and clicking into it, get all other conversions as well. You can even use Spotlight to open up apps, for example, the weather app, to take a look at your weather. You can even open up files with it, and even pictures. For example, if there was some text in one of your photos, you could open up right in Spotlight. And you can perform very quick Google searches with it by pressing Command Space and doing some web searches just like this. Very easy. Those are by far the best productivity tips and features that you can use on your Mac. Let me know if you learned something new, and thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!